Hi everyone, welcome to English with Aga. In this video, we're talking about the past continuous tense. We will look at 9 different ways to use the past continuous in English, and there are some practice exercises at the end, so keep watching. Before we start, subscribe to my channel and get your free English grammar booklet from the link in the video description. So, let's get started. The past continuous tense is sometimes called the past progressive. Usually, we need it when we talk about a continuous action in the past, so something that was happening during a specific period of time and it was continuous. This morning, between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m., I was playing football. So it was a continuous action and I was doing it for a specific period of time in the past continuously. Between 8 and 9, I was playing football. Often, this continuous action is interrupted by an event. I was playing football when my phone rang. So my phone interrupted my football. So when we have two things, one is continuous and happening for a period of time, and the other one interrupts it, then the first one is the past continuous and the second one the past simple. I was playing football when my phone rang. The past continuous is also for telling stories. When you want to describe the background of the story. For example, the man was wearing blue jeans. He was wearing them. It was the background of the story, the description of the scene. The sun was shining. Again, this is the background of my story. I'm describing the scene. The sun was shining. The past continuous is also for talking about situations that were temporary in the past. So I was living in Paris in 2020. It was a temporary situation. I didn't want to stay in Paris forever. I just wanted to stay there for a while. So I was living in Paris. Compare that with I lived in Paris. I lived is more of a permanent situation. Paris was my home. I wasn't going anywhere. I lived there. And I was living means it's quite a temporary situation. The past continuous is also for something that we find annoying. When we lived together, you were always playing really loud music in your bedroom. You were always doing it. So even though it's a repetitive action that happened all the time, we need the past continuous because we're annoyed. And when we're annoyed, we need a continuous tense. So you were always playing loud music when we lived together. I was thinking. Think is usually used in the past simple when used in the past, not the past continuous. I thought the film was good. I thought this book was interesting. So I thought means it was my opinion. But when we say I was thinking, we're talking about the continuous action of thinking happening in your head at the time. So when I was sitting on a bench earlier, I was thinking about my next holiday. So the process in my head was happening continuously. I was thinking, he was being. Is that correct? Yes. Usually the verb to be is used in the past simple, not the past continuous. My old school friend was very arrogant. This is just something that I would say if I'm describing my friend how he was when we went to school together. He was very arrogant. My friend was being very arrogant earlier when we were having a conversation. So was being is a continuous action that was happening whilst we were having the conversation. He was being arrogant right then in that specific moment. So that's why I'm using the past continuous. And finally, before we move on to the exercise, the final use of the past continuous tense in English is to use it in reported speech. So if I tell you I am reading a book and then you want to tell someone else, then you would say she said she was reading a book. In reported speech, the present continuous changes to the past continuous. So, I'm eating a sandwich. She said she was eating a sandwich. Sometimes the present continuous is used to talk about future plans. I am playing tennis at the weekend. This is my plan for the weekend. If you want to tell someone about it, you should say, she said she was playing tennis at the weekend. So I am playing changes to I was playing in reported speech. Now you tell me, past continuous or past simple? I was living or lived in England for 30 years. I lived in England because it's a permanent situation that lasted for 30 years. It's not temporary. It was a beautiful day. The sun shone or was shining. The sun was shining. I'm describing the background to my story, so I need the past continuous. This morning, between 8 and 10, I worked or I was working. I was working. It's a continuous action that was happening between those 2 hours. How many did you get right? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and get your free English grammar booklet from the video description. And I'll see you next time. Bye!